we're staying in our interface.dwg file. And as you can see, nothing has changed from the previous video. What we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the AutoCAD ribbon and the AutoCAD ribbon panels in this particular video. Now, the ribbon is the big, long, thin part with all the icons on it at the top of your AutoCAD screen. Now, it's very typical now for a Windows-based application to have a ribbon with tabs and panels. If you work with Microsoft Office, for example, all of the Office applications now have this ribbon at the top of the screen. It's moved along from the menu bar that I showed you in the previous video for the Quick Access toolbar, where you click on something like File or Insert, and a big long menu bar appears. So we don't do that anymore. It's all based on the ribbon. So let's take a look at this ribbon in AutoCAD. Now, if you're running regular AutoCAD, not AutoCAD LT, by the way, that's kind of the cut down version of AutoCAD that only does 2D drafting. Full AutoCAD has this particular ribbon configuration. You'll find with LT it's a little bit shorter, some of the tabs aren't there. Now, if I click on Insert, if I click on Annotate, it takes me to different parts of the ribbon to do different things. So for example, if I went to Output, all about printing, plotting, exporting to file types. If I went to Insert, it's all about putting blocks and references and importing files into AutoCAD. Just go back to the Home tab on the ribbon for now. That's where you'll spend the majority of your time when you're working in AutoCAD, because you've got panels like Draw, Modify, Annotation, Layers, and so on. And they are the fundamental bedrocks of AutoCAD. Now, as you see, each tab has different panels on the ribbon. We're going to utilize the Draw panel over here. Now, there's various tools on a panel. Notice the word Draw with the flyout menu. If I click there, that expands to other icons in the Draw panel, and I can just pin those open. Then they stay open and don't fly back into the ribbon. So I've got more Draw icons than you might realize. Now, I'll unpin that, and it goes back into the ribbon, like so. Now, you've also got flyouts available on the panel itself. So if I click on the flyout for circle, there's all different types of circles. If I click on the flyout for arc, there's all different types of arcs. If I go up here to rectangle and click on the flyout there, I've got rectangle and polygon, for example. So there's different flyouts that do different things on an AutoCAD panel. That basically covers the panels with the flyouts and so on. You'll also notice when you hover over them, they highlight. Can you see that there? Now, if I jump into the Annotate tab on the ribbon, you've got an extra little one here, like so. So this is the text panel on the Annotate tab on the ribbon. If I click there, that will open up the text style dialog box, allowing me to set up new text styles. I'll click on Cancel and go back to the Home tab on the ribbon. In the Annotation flyout here, if I pin that open, I can also get to text style here as well. So if I click on that one with the A with the paintbrush, there's the same dialog box. I'll click on Cancel again and just unpin that, and it flies back into the ribbon again. So you can see there's lots of different ways to get to the same commands using different panels, different tabs on the ribbon. Now, last but not least, one of the really cool things that I love about the AutoCAD ribbon is a thing that I've nicknamed sticky panels. If you hover over the Draw panel here on the title bar, see it highlights a darker grey? Click and drag, and you can drag that panel into the drawing area. Release the mouse button, and it places it in the drawing area. Now, if you're running a dual monitor or triple monitor environment, you can drag that little panel anywhere you need it to be. So it can be quite useful. And the reason it's useful is I might want to work in the Annotate tab, but I need my draw tools. So now they're sitting there in the drawing area on the sticky panel. Kind of helpful because I can just get to those draw tools real quick. Now, that's great, but how do I get that back to where I want it to go? Hover over the panel, and you'll see on the edges, you get these little kind of bars appear. There's a little T-shaped symbol. Return panel to ribbon. Now, if you look at the ribbon, I'm in the Annotate tab. You'd think it would go to the Annotate tab. Click on Return Panels to Ribbon. Where's the Draw panel gone? If I go back to the Home tab, the configuration of AutoCAD has put it automatically back on the Home tab on the ribbon. There's the Draw panel again. So those sticky panels are a really useful little way of just dragging a few panels that you use regularly onto the screen rather than being restricted by the configuration of the ribbon in AutoCAD. Now, one more little tip and trick here. There is a little white button up here pointing upwards. See that? Minimize to panel buttons. Now, if you click on that by mistake, you will find that you change the appearance of the ribbon. Don't panic. Just keep clicking on it and you will get back to the original configuration of your ribbon. It's just different visualizations of the ribbon. They obviously economize on screen space if you need to. Personally, I never change it. I use the default ribbon in AutoCAD all the time. But if you do accidentally click on that little white button and it all looks a bit different, just keep clicking on it. You'll get back to the original ribbon configuration.